All right, hello. This is a video to help you with Desmos. So in case you're using Desmos instead of graphic calculator. All right, so I pulled up the Desmo website. You can see it up here. It's a good, right here is where it's good up here. All right, and so anyway, we're going to put an equation in this area right here. All right, so I'm going to type in an equation. Let's say that I'm going to use the one I used in the graphic calculator. Now, there's a couple things you can do. You could touch this little button here. Okay, I'm going to kind of like minimize that. But see, if you see it right here, if you click on it, then the little calculator buttons pop up here. So I could say y, or you could just type this in, y equals, and then you can say x square. And then we're going to use the one that we did before. Subtract an x. All right, and then we're going to say plus. I'm sorry, not plus. Let's delete. Go back. We'll go here. We'll say minus 30. All right, now I'm going to minimize this. All right, and so if you look, I got my equation here, and it automatically graphs it for you. That's one thing nice about this. Now, you could go to this little edit list right here, and right here's your table. Right, this is if you want to make a copy of the equation. We hit this, and this will actually give us our table. And here's some of the points that they're using on the table. All right, and I'm going to go, we can leave it out here. All right, so remember, we're doing the attributes. And so this is a quadratic equation. So we're going to do some attributes. Now, one thing nice about this is that we can do many things. I'm going to put my mouse here, and I'm going to hold my button down, my mouse button, and I can move the graph over. All right, so here we go. Let's get started. One thing is that we're looking for the Y-intercept. All right, so the Y-intercept is where my line crosses the Y-axis, and here it is right here. See the Y-axis right here? And it's touching right there. So this right here, and if you notice when I put my cursor on the dot, it gives us the point. So there is our Y-intercept, 0, negative 30, or you could just say Y equals, the Y-intercept is Y equals negative 30. All right, another thing is that we could look at we can zoom in and out. That's another thing a lot of people are not familiar with. All right, another thing is that we need to find the vertex. Now the vertex, let me get the thing up here, we can see it. The vertex is, if you notice the curving of the line, it goes down, and then all of a sudden it gets to this point and it goes back up. This right here, this point right here is our vertex. And you can see our vertex is 0.5 and negative 30.25. I think on the graphing calculator we said it was a negative. We kind of kept it almost the same. But anyway, but this actually tells you the vertex right there if you put your cursor between the two dots. All right, so there's a vertex. Now remember, the vertex consists of what two things? Axis of symmetry, which is your x value. So my axis of symmetry is an imaginary line that goes straight on up. All right, and I'm going to get where we can see the x-axis. It's from the vertex straight up. It's an imaginary line. It splits the parabola into two equal sections, and wherever it touches up here on the x-axis, that is your equation. So my equation, if we go back down here, as you see, it's 0.5. So my equation for the axis of symmetry is x equals 0.5. Now, the min and max is what's going across here. And so this is where it's touching the y-axis, but it's right here. It's just below it. And if you look, this right here is as low as it can go. So this is a minimum value. And because it's a minimum value, well, max either. But this is a minimum value because it's low. Max is how high it goes. You can see the y value is negative 30.25. Well, that's our equation, okay? Because we draw a line like this, and it actually touches the y-axis at negative 30.25. So my equation for the minimum value is y equals a negative 30.25. And like I said, the axis of symmetry the vertex contains both the axis of symmetry, which is in the x value, and the min or max, which is in the y value. All right, so this is my axis of symmetry going up and down, and my min and max is going sideways. All right, the next thing we said was the roots, the zeros, solutions. And you remember that's where our line crosses the x-axis. So if you look right here, this is where my line is crossing the x-axis. It's at negative 5, 0. Okay, so that's 1, 0, negative 5. The other 0 will go over here is 6. So this, because it's touching 2, it's a 2-point quadratic solution. It has 2 solutions. The first one is negative 5, and the other one is positive 6. Now remember, the ordered pair is negative 5, 0, and it's 6, 0. But that's where it's touching the x-axis, is at negative 5 and 6. All right, so let's review. We said the y-intercept's here at negative 30. We said the vertex is at 0.5, negative 30, and 0.25. We said the axis of symmetry is the x value in this, which is 0.5. So that's the imaginary line. It goes up and down and splits the thing. The min or max is what's horizontal, and it's when it touches the y-axis. So the value is negative 30.25 on the vertex. We said the roots were negative 5 and 6. And the only thing we got to know is this opening upward or downward? And you can tell that it's opening upward.